Okay, so we'll do roll call. Cindy Knight here, Alexandria Levitt,
Here.
Julie Papadakis. No Julie. Green.
Yeah. I'm here.
Rachel Fox.
Here.
And we have Councilman, Mayor Robert Joe with us as well.
I'm here.
Yes, you are. Okay, can I move to get an approval for the minutes for the joint special meeting?
I move to approve the minutes.
I second.
Great. Alexandria, are you taking notes? Are you taking?
You know what? I can take minutes.
Someone needs to.
Yeah, I'll take minutes. Angela, can you mute or someone? I'm hearing other conversation in the background.
Yeah.
Or Bob. Okay.
Me.
Oh, it's Bob.
Okay. Alexandra, I can take the notes for the meeting.
That's fine. Okay. Yeah, all right.
Thank you. Okay. So I'm sorry. So where it says approval of minutes for joint special meeting, is that what this is, or is that something else?
That's what this is.
The joint meeting.
Just making sure. Okay. Budget presentation.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me here in Lily's absence. So I'm just here today to just kind of talk about Senior Center and its budget and moving forward in the next few months as we kind of navigate our way through COVID. So what you're going to see, or what I'm going to talk about really, is just kind of how it's impacted our budget and then what we're doing moving forward. So right now we're looking to do a soft open. And the budget that you're looking at, or that was presented, it really shows the elimination of events. Being that we have a vulnerable population, such as the seniors, and given the governor's safer at home and CDC warnings, we have eliminated events, and so we're not going to have large gatherings at the senior center. And we're just going to kind of watch COVID and see how that plays out. And so for the senior center, really the cuts were just taken in light of safety for our senior population.
So I'm sorry, do we have a copy of this budget, or because you're referring to it, but I don't.
Sorry, this will be for next fiscal year.
Okay.
And so it was presented at the Finance Commission meeting.
Okay.
And so I just wanted to speak to how basically the impact of COVID and moving next fiscal year, kind of what you guys could potentially see for senior center budget.
And when you say large events, I guess, what are you defining as?
Yeah, that's a great question. Senior Center actually holds a myriad of events, and starting really in the summer, we do 4th of July, and moving forward every month. Lily usually tries to have one large special event, special lunch. It's either at the Senior Center, or given the popularity of the event, it'll be at war memorials such as the Chinese New Year's luncheon, etc. And so that we're rapidly moving into July, we aren't going to have those events or entertainment that's tied with that line item budget. And so we wouldn't have a 4th of July luncheon at the Senior Center in July. In August, we're not going to do, she usually does even just a barbecue in July for the seniors, or a luau special luncheon. You guys have seen that. And so we have in the line item budget for Senior Center omitted that. And so that's what I'm speaking to, the holiday luncheons that we have, even the volunteer appreciation luncheons where we take the time, given the amount of support that she does get from the public. It just wouldn't be at this time safe.
So that's through the month of July only, or throughout the summer?
So that'll be throughout the year, right now.
For the rest? Okay.
Right. Even as you see things starting to open, we are dealing with a more vulnerable population. And so we aren't necessarily, it isn't just July or, after July or August that we're going to throw open the doors. We have to take into account just kind of the population that we're working with, and their safety. And so we would really just have to be cautious about that. And so one of the things that we can do in light of that is to deter from having large gatherings. And that was really where we kind of zoned in, was with the special events, because even on a smaller scale for our events, the ones that are at the senior center, we're looking at least 80 to 100 seniors. I know we did a luau last summer, and it was an impromptu. Mayor Bob Joe, you were there, and you remember. I mean, we were bringing chairs from other places and trying to, make as many plates as possible. And so it really draws a gathering, even in a small venue such as the senior center.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, Mayor, I'm just hearing this and thinking, my concern is that once this is cut from the senior budget, we'll never get it back, because finances are tight across the city and the state, and it will be really hard for them to say, or let's say 8 months from now things are looking better, and to say, oh no, but you can't have any big events because it's not in your budget anymore.
First of all, I do not personally now, all right? I'm not the whole council.
I gotcha.
I personally will support continuing the funding that is being used for the big events when we do have the approval to move ahead on big events.
Great.
In the meantime, too, and I'm going to share a story. That's my, if you don't mind, because I think it's totally related to the senior commission and all that. And that is, one, I would like to, but this is up to you folks, is to have Angela to be aware of, when phase 3 is opening up, that could say, all right, maybe we can have some events, but it needs to be with the 6 feet distancing. It needs to have the mask. And I do know, and I'm one of them, they are, these seniors, have a predetermined, not predetermined, but
They're more susceptible.
yes. Okay. So I'm aware of all that, but I think we should at least start looking at how other cities are doing their programs, and if they could even open it up and all. So that's, I want to be more on the positive end of trying to find ways of, opening, and that's how I look at it. But you are the commission, I'm not, see. The other part is a story. I might as well share it, and Sheila knows it already, and all. There's a husband and wife that comes to the senior center and attends all the programs. I mean, once in a while, because I do some introductions of guests and things like that, but they come to the wellness program. I mean, it's not just the lunches we have. We got the wellness program. We have senior scam programs, where they get information, and it goes on and on, okay? And the husband passed away a week and a half ago. actually, I did visit him because I knew him a little bit and all, and before he passed away. And and I'm not going to mention names, but they were very involved with the senior programs. I mean, they went on the trips. They did attend all the different informational programs. They attended all the lunches. They really enjoyed it, and they were really part of the senior center and all. But since he did pass away, the son talked to me, and he says, "My mom and dad really want to support and donate something to the Senior Center Foundation." Okay. Well, found out that he is representing the family, donating a very large, substantial amount to the foundation. And I mean, it's above $30,000. Okay. And that told me something. It told me that, one, our program is very people oriented and is very caring. And that's why you're hearing me being more positive, saying, I am not letting the funding, be dilapidated, or not dilapidated, but, be deleted or reduced. Okay. So I think that will give you an indication how I feel, but I'm only one of five. Okay. I will always say that. But you folks are the ones on the commission providing the direction or providing guidelines and things to the city, and in particular to the commission. And I think you can see how I feel. And that's all I'm saying. Okay, thank you.
Mayor Bob Joe.
Can you guys see me or hear me?
I can hear it, can't you?
You can. This is Julie Papadakis.
Oh, yes, I hear it. I do.
I don't usually do Zoom meetings, so this is my first one. So I'm
Isn't
learning.
it fun?
Well, I'm doing it on my phone because my husband has a Zoom meeting on the computer. So I'm just figuring this out.
Go ahead.
But anyway, I've heard what you guys have been talking about. I just didn't know if you realized I was here. But I'm concerned about the funding for the senior center as well, and I'm hoping that we can possibly do activities maybe outside versus inside, and for the spacing and the precautions for the COVID.
So, sorry, just to interject, and for full transparency, what we're looking at a cut for the special events would be approximately $2,000. I'd like to note that Liliana Torres has worked diligently, so a lot of her networking and a lot of the care that she's put into her line of work, she gets a lot of donations for special events. So sometimes the entertainment is donated. Sometimes it's the luncheon itself that's donated. So she really tries to keep the cost at minimum to the city with a maximum enjoyment for the seniors. And so it, just in full transparency, that's the cut that we would be looking at approximately. So if something were to change, there are events that are fully donated by Rotary and by other organizations within the city that have also put their time into and money for the seniors.
Gotcha.
Okay. One other area too, and the amount is small because Lily knew how to work within that system and got a lot of donations and all that. And I could tell you, within the city budget of $2,000, I'm not going to worry about it. I think we could do it one way or the other. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in making sure that we can and will, with proper protocol and all, start some of the programs. Mm-hmm. Okay. So now I shouldn't say I. The commission, if they deem that they would want to provide that kind of direction, that's up to you folks. I'm sorry, I didn't even mean.
No, that's an excellent point, Bob. And I think that I guess that's my next question for sure. understanding big events are off the table. Angela, when do you think they'll be able to have meals back in the center or any of the activities? Because I think we all discovered from our calls that we made, people really, really miss that place. They really miss going there a lot.
So that's a great question, Alexandra. I'm actually going to have Sheila Pouch, the Community Services Director, talk about how Community Services and Senior Center specifically will reopen doors and the stages and the protocols that would entail.
Good morning, everyone. So I am actually sitting on a subcommittee of LA County Parks and Recreation, and I'm part of the Senior and Recreation Program reopening. In phase 3, probably starting the 15th, it's not been confirmed, but if it's going to be confirmed, it should be either today or Friday, that a 1-to-12 ratio, so you can have 12 seniors social distance in one room, as long as there's enough space for social distancing. That applies for outdoor as well, and that's phase 3. Not until the gatherings by either the state or the county come to us and say, we are allowed to have gatherings of more than X amount of people, will they be able to move forward.
Alexandria, that's not my background noise.
It's not my dog.
Fine.
So until we have a definite, it might be stage 5, because at this time, gatherings are not until, they're talking about the whole, when we have concerts and things that you can bring a group of people together. Because right now in the senior center, we could probably start a grab and go program where someone can drive up and grab their lunch and go home. They can't stay at the center. And to only allow 12 people in to eat lunch, how do you pick those 12 people? So we will probably open a grab and go the end of the month. So if senior decides to, I'm going to drive out and get my lunch, they'll drive by, we'll hand them their lunch and they can go. And we will continue to deliver, but not until that time that they actually allow for a larger group. Even my childcare programs in recreation, I can only have a 1-to-12 ratio for camp. I usually have 150 kids. How do I social distance 150 kids in our buildings? We just don't have the space. So as we continue to try and open facilities, we just have to continue to follow the state and county guidelines, especially the county, and I can't move forward with allowing that. But as soon as we can have seniors, we will do that very slowly. We are looking at to bring a few classes back at a 1-to-12 ratio where there'll be the instructor and 12 students for like the Spanish class, the French class, the Italian class. Our computer lab is so small, you can probably only have 3 people in the whole lab with one instructor. So it's really limiting our space and what we can do. So that's where we're at. I mean, we love our seniors. We want them back as much as you guys want them, as much as they want to come back. And that's why we appreciate you making those phone calls and talking to them. As soon as we get more information, we will bring that back to you right away. It really depends on when the state and county open those guidelines for us.
Okay, that's great. It would be great to know, so we can relay that in the phone calls, because I know, the people we've all spoken to have expressed really wanting to get back.
Yes, I can only imagine.
One lady told me, you need to start the Spanish class again because I got to get my husband out of here. I was like, I hear you, girl. I hear you.
We understand. So when we're talking about those special events, as Angela said, they are for our lunch program and it's for entertainment, but Lily has done a phenomenal job of getting either Rotary or one of the convalescent homes or care facilities that come and donate to the center and come do blood pressure checks. They'll pay for that entertainment. So we're going to continue to do that. We're not going to take that away. Even our police department has come and paid for all of the food and entertainment for our holiday lunches. So we will continue to do that as much as possible. And as soon as, I think we're going to have just a big party once we can all have them back. It doesn't matter what holiday it is. It's just going to be our our get-together party. But we will continue to bring that back. So the cuts are very minor in the senior center. Staffing was not cut. The small things such as the entertainment for the events were cut. The other one that was cut for this year that you may or may not not care about, but it was the excursion. We have 2,500 set aside for excursions. Well, putting the seniors on a bus, some of the locations we go to will not accept groups. You know, you have to come in kind of on your own. And we always go with a group of, 40 or 50 people. So that's been taken out this fiscal year as well. We're not even taking any of our regular excursions we do with our youth either. So, so those would be the two main cuts. The other cut would be, I think it was $2,700 for the napkins, paper plates, things like that for events. We will be bringing to council on the 17th a new contract for our meals program. It is a much lower cost program. So we are actually went from $50,000 that we would have to put in this budget to down to $36,000. So that was a huge cut that we made. Lily did a great job on finding a great caterer to come in. And so once that's approved, they will supply all those and we will not have to purchase that. So that's just as cost savings for the city itself. And so those are the main cuts for the department. Or for the center. There is nothing for staffing. We still have Lily. We still have our staff who are still working each day now, doing a great job. And it's just the excursions and the cost for the special events. So that's all that's been taken out for this year's budget just because of COVID. I don't know if you have any other questions I can help you or Angela can help you with. Alexandra, I think you're muted.
I'm so curious, the Los Angeles-based committee that you're on, looking at how other recreation centers are doing this, and I would just be curious to know, like, what creative ideas they come with. Is there a way to take, like, if we have 12 different people every day who get to come into the senior center, even for a lunch or something, just to kind of, get out and see other faces. I don't know. I don't know how you guys would deal with that.
That is something, that's a great idea. Well, we could look into, calling 12 people and say, would you like to come out to lunch? And we could set up inside for 12 people, just like we would do if we have our Spanish class. And then they can, we can do something like that. So it's just not, it's not where we have to eliminate it, but we can, ask those who want to come in to come in. But that's a great idea. But most surrounding cities are the same. They are only doing a home delivery program. Yeah. Some started the grab and go, so that maybe they're standing outside and they come up through their car and it's like a drive-through. But those are the only things that people are doing. They're not offering classes. They're not bringing the seniors together. They're not bringing seniors out if they don't have to.
Gotcha.
We do have dial-a-ride going on, and we do have seniors that are doing their own grocery shopping. They have doctor's appointments. Now that doctors have offices that slowly reopen, as well as pharmacies, getting to the bank. And now that the hair salons are starting to open, the ladies want their hair done. So, so we're picking up steam with that. So
that's wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah. I was wondering, what about using our outdoor patio space as well? That if we could have, what, you said 12 people? Isn't that little patio space by the entrance? Would that be available to set up for more people for lunch?
Right, we would have to, I didn't check the square footage on that and do the capacity for that area. I would have to do that. Just with it being so hot during that time right now, it's just hard to sit people outside for a long time. It's not very shaded. We do have a shade like canopy, but it's it's not very. The walls keep in the heat. But it's a great thing that we can think about and start seeing how many people we can service there.
Right, a little extra space. Okay, I just want to a little bit off subject. I need to let you guys know that I'm leaving town and I won't be back until the second week of August. So this is my last meeting with you, but you can always email me and I can email back.
No problem. You'll get our emails.
We can Zoom you.
Yeah, Zoom goes everywhere.
Okay, well, okay, I can try that. Okay, all right. And Alexandria, I need to talk to Alexandria about what we're going to be doing in the future as far as any seminars or anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Shireen, did you have a comment? You were muted when you started to talk.
Yeah, actually today, mention what I was going to say. Have some classes held outdoors or something to have more, people participate. So, yeah, that's all.
Okay, thank you, Shreen. Yes, we are actually working on it. We're calling our instructors. It really matters if the instructor wants to come out too. So we do have a few instructors that are ready to go. And now we need to call their students and see if they're still interested in coming out, and obviously limited to 12. So we're just trying to get the logistics down, as well as what instructor is there, and as well as how many students would like to participate before putting it publicly, because we don't want too many people calling and wanting to come to our classes and not having room for them.
This is Rachel. I think it sounds like you have a great hold on what we can and can't do. I mean, we are still in a pandemic regardless of phase. And so we have to look to you to kind of say, here are the restrictions, here's how we can operate. So thank you for being educated and participating in the committees you are, so that we can bring that communication and safety back to our town.
Thank you. We will continue to bring you updates. I can have Angela add in on her weekly updates to you as well. Anything new from Los Angeles County Health Department that we're able to do.
That would be great.
Okay.
Any other budget questions we can help with?
Cindy?
I'm sorry.
Cindy?
Yes,
May I add something?
of course.
Cindy, I always ask permission from you, okay?
Always granted.
Okay. The staff, Sheila, what I like to see then, and which I think is a great discussion that we've had, is to lay out at least what would be some of the immediate things that we could do once we get into either phase 3, or when other, cities are doing certain things too. What will our plan be like? And I think when we discussed something like maybe 3 or 4 of the classes that are within the 12 folks could still, or we could now continue those, the Spanish class, so forth and so forth. If you could just lay that out a little bit to say, this is what we would probably do when and if, we get into either phase 3 or whatever things are lifted, and give the commission some feel for the timing a little bit. Okay. So I think I would appreciate that if the staff could provide that to the commission.
We will do that.
All right, commission.
We will do that.
Okay, thank you. And
Thank you.
because I think there are a lot of things discussed, and like the outdoors, using from the recreation classes and all that. And the sooner we are prepared when the date is lifted for us to go ahead and do it, then we can move smartly into it, with the senior programs. Because even the suggestion of having 12 folks there that they could have lunch, it gets them to socialize. Yeah. And that is so important, even though they're 12 feet away or whatever they are, on the lunch thing. Because as you all know, there's all levels of seniors, and some are so active, they're willing to come in if they can, just to have some time together with others and just to have a lunch. So those are my thoughts. Thanks.
Mayor Bob Joe, if I may interject, Lily and I, while she's not here, we absolutely hear you and understand the importance. That's in part why, even though we don't have, that's why we were so happy to hold this meeting, is because part of it was to put a little transparency on kind of our next move. And part of it would be, in line with whatever direction you guys give us, coupled with the budget, but also with CDC safe guidelines. And so it's Senior Center and DAR working together to make sure that the seniors of this city, the residents, are feeling that we're here to support them and get them up and out again too. Because we have heard, and their expressions of wanting to come back in, to utilize facilities, to, do their own shopping, as Sheila said, to get their hair done. There's a certain level of normalcy that they're missing too,
Right.
in all of this. And so we've heard them, and we are diligently working even on the day-to-day to provide their meals, but also trying to look forward in June and July to make sure that we're prepared to offer them the same quality of service that they've enjoyed in the past, but also to do so safely. And so and I'm sure Liliana too would be happy to come back to the table to provide any updates or to get any feedback to ensure that we're all on the right course to serve them as best we can.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any other questions on budget?
Is it possible to have a copy of the budget emailed to us?
Absolutely, I can do that.
Yes.
That'd be great. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to our next item, which is Dial-A-Ride and Senior Center Services update, which we may have covered part of that, but.
I was going to say, this is actually a very good transition, so thank you so much. So just to resonate again, that we're here to talk about the budget, but also to talk about our services as well. And so for Dial-A-Ride, it's as Sheila said, as they continue to kind of lift restrictions, our seniors are calling to continue the service. We're seeing a high influx of medical appointments now that doctors are now able to have those. So we're taking more medical appointments, and now they're coming out to go grocery shopping. So we're doing that as well. Dial-A-Ride is run, it has a data management system, and so our day-to-day is streamlined. Staff has had the opportunity to sit down with Route Match and kind of discuss next moves on how the data management system would help us during COVID and help us to navigate. They are working on fine-tuning their system, and so it would help with how many people we can put on the buses at one time, for safety purposes. And so we'll find that update in the months to come. And so we would be really utilizing, you'll see our bigger buses. One is the CNG, 75, and 80 is our all-electric, used to transport seniors to and from in a safe manner. And so as we start to ramp up, we'll be very cognizant of our reservations and making sure that we move them safely to and from the grocery store, the hair salon, etc. But we are seeing an increase in services. Moving on from Dial-A-Ride for the senior center, as Sheila kind of touched on, I have started the policies and procedures and protocols for a grab and go. I would like to open up lunches so that now that seniors can come out, those that can drive, if they want to come and get their lunch at the senior center, they may absolutely do so. I guess June 15th, Sheila had mentioned, is the possibility. However, to ensure safety of staff and for seniors, I'm going to prolong it just one more week to make sure everything is in place. But I would like to open a grab and go for June 22nd. And as I start to finalize all the details, I'll be sure to push those out to you so that we can publicize that to our seniors.
Great.
Okay.
And that would be kind of more of a soft opening to get the seniors out to. Like we said, we want to do it safely. We don't want to keep our doors closed for too long because we hear them and we miss them. But we just want to make sure that it's manageable also, we're doing so safely. So this soft open in June would kind of help us to kind of open things in layers. And so it's not just we're doing the lunches and the classes all at the same time. But really just trying to do everything at a comfortable level for both our patrons and for staff safety. So that'll take place in June. And it'll also, I would like to note that it does open our doors to those who enjoy our services who actually aren't from the city as well. The people that, as Mayor Bob Joe said, they come to socialize, they come and they've made friends from other neighborhoods. And so that really just kind of brings a togetherness too as well. So that'll happen, and we will have that at the senior center.
Great.
Okay.
That I would like to note too that that's not going to discourage from home delivery. Staff is prepared to also offer and maintain the quality of services for both home delivery. What I think we probably will see is an influx of people coming to the senior center, and so it might. Right now, as you guys know on our updates, we're doing about 90 meals, delivering 90 meals a day. What I foresee is that probably will split in half, and what we'll see is some those who used to come to the senior center will come and pick up their lunch, and then we'll see a lighter home delivery service.
And how much is the grab and go cost for the member?
The grab and go, that's a great question. That'll be $275.
Same, okay.
Do you guys have any questions regarding that?
No.
I guess I would just, it sounds really good. And do you need the commissioners at some point to be doing the calls to the members with a news update, or is that something you guys are doing in-house, or?
Absolutely. Your support would be appreciated. What I would like to do is once everything is finalized and I run it up the chain of command and get the green light, it would be nice to help promote the service, especially from you guys too. A lot of times, sometimes while the seniors enjoy coming back, it's the reassurance that we're here to help and support them. So there's probably some that would appreciate that phone call, especially explaining how it'll work too. I'm going to do a flyer and we will publicize it, but your help would be most appreciated in that.
That's great. And yeah, if we can all get the flyer, that will be helpful too.
Yeah.
Any
Okay.
other questions?
Anything else from anyone?
And the plan sounds good, and I look forward to having the email. And thanks for the information. And hopefully, phase 3.
Thank you. So the last thing I wanted to bring to everyone's attention, and if we're moving on, I would just like to note that thanks for you guys for your support, and also that we've had a lot of support from volunteers, from local organizations who have really helped make this time for our seniors more manageable. And so just to note, there's a few donations that we've gotten that will also play a big part in our next phases as we start to reopen the doors. And one of them was, or a few of them are, we received some PPE supplies from the Beijing Friendship Association and U.S. Asian Arts and Cultural Association. And that's huge for us. It's one, it's something that we do hand out to our seniors as we're opening the doors, as they're coming out to Dial-A-Ride, we're able to hand out these donations and they're able to enjoy them and partake in our services safely because of these donations. Additionally, because we were able to receive this PPE supplies, we are able to kind of move forward with this grab and go and other phases because staff will have this available for them, so we can be safe as we're moving forward. So I just wanted to note that. I also wanted to note that, we also got hand-sewn masks from the Women's Club of South Pasadena, which is also very special. Because we are in June, and it's Father's Day, and this will actually be put in their lunches as we deliver. So they will receive something special for this month. Along with our local Girl Scout troops are making cards for our seniors of inspiration and support for them so that they can still feel connected in this community, even though right now, as the most vulnerable population, they have to be apart from us. And so these donations really help us kind of keep the quality and care that they're used to. And so I just wanted to note that as we move forward, we really wouldn't be able to do it without this local support that we've received.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and I would just reiterate, if there's other forms of support you need from us, just let us know, aside from the phone calls. Anybody else?
Cindy, maybe we
Yeah.
could, since we have so many donations, maybe you, as a representative, might want to write a thank you note to each one of the organizations.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yes, I'll be happy to do that.
Thank you.
Cindy, if you have a lot on your plate, this is Rachel. If you provide the organization and the addresses, I'm also happy to do it. Just if you need any help.
Okay, great. Thank you. I don't have that information. So Angela, if you do have that,
Yeah.
pardon me, if you could pass it along, that would be great.
Absolutely. I will be happy to share that with you.
Thank you. Okay, if there's nothing else, we'll move to adjourn.
Okay.
Oh, I thought I had council comments.
Oh, I don't see that on here. I'm sorry. Go right ahead.
No, I want to make sure Angela says okay.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I mean, she sets up the agenda, and if it wasn't on it, then,
You can add any comments that you would like, everybody in the commission. If you do have a comment, we just didn't put it on.
Okay.
But it's totally up to you to add your comments.
Okay, I wouldn't. I'm so used to it, with other commissions, so that, and if the chair doesn't mind, I like to give just a quick update of things. One, I want to thank Cindy and her Good Friday group. They've been very helpful in, helping and making deliveries. There's another group too called Volunteers. South Pasadena Volunteers, they also been available and offering to do pickups of grocery stuff, even pharmacy prescriptions and all for our seniors and anyone who needs it. So, these are other groups along with, I think all of you know, the Holy Family Church and their food bank that they have every Monday and all. So during this time, all of them been very, very helpful and supportive of our citizens and our seniors and all in South Pass. So I just wanted to make sure we thank them all of them, and including now too, as you heard, the Women's Club. And there are a lot of others too that are supporting us. And supporting our citizens. I want to give an update. I just got an update this morning from our chief, Riddle, from our fire department. And that is that, yes, we're on the uptake a little bit regarding additional people in South Pasadena testing positive. But the reason why there's an uptake is that more people are taking the test. Okay. Regarding the care center, which is obviously the biggest area that we have, the key thing is they are not accepting any new residents. Okay, so right now there's been one staff person and 4 residents that have additionally been tested positive there. But I think that's from the last 3-4 weeks. Okay. But the key thing is no new residents are being accepted there at all. Okay. Is there any questions on that before I move on? Okay. Here's some lighter things, but I think it's important. Our police department has assisted with the South Pasadena High School drive-by graduation June 3rd, and it happened June 3rd from 6 to 8. Okay, and also the middle school had their drive-by, and I think at least maybe all the elementary schools. I went to the one in Monterey Hills, and they all were able to do their drive-by parade, which is great. I just want to give you a little background that a week and a half before that, was receiving, our school district received a negative response from the LA County School Board saying you cannot do any parades. So there was some push by several mayors to ask the county supervisor to make an adjustment on that. And within 5 days, they gave the approval to have parades. Okay, so I wanted to at least recognize the supervisor because she really did push to have that done. And that's why we did have the parades. Okay, the other area is the Festival of Arts is coming up, and that's for July 4th, roughly. And basically, it's an art program, and the Community Service Department is coordinating that, by handing out handing out the poster boards that they could use. Also, getting people who wants to do chalk design on the sidewalks and things of this nature. So this is something that we could try to do, but in lieu of the quote Festival of Balloons this year. And so people could then walk up and down and through the parks to see the artwork and all. And the messages, so it's fine. Okay, but I wanted you to be aware of that. And then I would like to talk a little bit about the protest and give you an update on that if I have the time and if it's all right with you folks. Cindy,
all right, Bob,
okay?
can I just say to Julie, you can mute and then we won't hear your dog bark.
I hear my dog. Sorry. Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. If that's all right, Cindy, I'd like to continue on, but if you don't think we have time, that's, okay,
It's fine with me if everyone else is okay with another couple minutes.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'd like to give an update on the protest. Okay. There's been a protest almost every day and toward the afternoon. I mean, from about 12 o'clock to 2 to 3. And it's about 35, it ranges from 35 to 80 protesters, but most of them, if not all of them, live in South Pasadena and they're students. And it's been great to see them there and being involved. But I wanted you to all know that we are watching, but they've been very, very peaceful, very, very good, and have not ever been a problem. Okay. The other area is, the other day, and I think it's within a couple of days ago, the city manager and the chief of police had said that the sleeper hole is really, some people call it a chokehold and all that, will no longer be authorized as the use of force. So we did do that already within our police department policies. Okay. And we are going to be looking at other things too on the use of force. But right now, that's the first one. And we're even ahead of the state on that one with the governor. Okay. And then my last comment, it will be on the budget itself, the overall budget. And you probably heard a lot about it. We will be reviewing it tonight. And we will also get a review by the Finance Commission, and I'll be waiting for what they come up with in their findings and all that. But we're trying to look at it again and provide comments again to the staff. So I think the commission itself will probably meet tomorrow or the following week. We need to, if we can, get some kind of budget approved though before July 1st. So that's what we're working toward. But we are reviewing it. We are reviewing the comments made by several or many people. And, I think based on some of the questions that are going to be asked tonight, you will see that we do want to make sure that there's no misuse of funds, misuse of money or other funds being moved around, things of that nature. Okay, but that gives you a little update of the city, if that's all right. I'm done, Cindy. Thank you.
Thank you for the update, Mayor. Anybody else before we wrap it up?
Cindy, may I just want to add, I just want to thank Sheila, Angela, and the senior center staff. You know, with all these changes, so much extra work and everything, and they're doing such a great job. Thank you.
Yes, second that. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. We really appreciate everything you guys have been doing.
It really is our pleasure. And like I said, we really are here to be here for the residents and for the seniors. So really, if you ever want to come back to the table, if there's any questions or there's anything or any ideas, or please feel free. I know Lily is out, but I'm more than happy to come back to the table and hear any feedback or give any more support that I can.
Appreciate that very much. And I'll just throw in also that through Girl Friday, we are still offering free grocery shopping and prescription pickup for seniors. And we're going to continue that throughout as long as, this goes on. So if there are people that you hear about, I have noticed a lot more seniors in the stores, which does make me feel a little nervous. I think it's too soon for them to be out running around. I understand the need to get out of the house for sure. But we are offering that. So if anyone comes across your path who doesn't want to go themselves, we're happy to do it for them. And Ed Donnelly's group, as Bob mentioned, has a really strong volunteer network as well. Absolutely. So there's lots of options.
Okay. I will keep that in mind. Thank you.
Sure. All right. I guess we'll move to adjourn the meeting.
I so move.
I second it.
Awesome. Okay. It was great to see you all.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see everyone.
Everybody, stay
Thanks
well.
Bye.
Bye-bye.